Hi, I'm here with Katie today to show you how IEMT can change how you feel. It's unlike any other eye movement technique. It's quick, it's extremely effective, and it produces immediate results. So Katie, she's not experienced any of this before. And what we're going to do is work with a really strong emotion that Katie has, and we're going to see how this process helps her either eliminate or reduce it an extreme amount. So you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have a really strong emotion that when you think about it, it might interfere with the way that you go about your daily life? So a strong emotion like anger, sadness, regret.
Anger.
Anger, okay. And so I'm going to ask you, Katie, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you think about this anger, 10 being the strongest, 1 being not so much, how strong is the anger?
8.
An 8. Okay, excellent. And when you think about this anger, when it comes on, where do you notice it in your body?
My chest.
Your chest. Okay, so you know right where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent, in your chest. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and we're going to proceed with the process of IEMT. Okay, so when you think about this feeling in your chest at an 8, okay. When is the first time you can remember feeling this feeling? Now, keeping in mind, it doesn't have to be the very first time it ever happened, just the first time you can remember the feeling now.
I think when I was 16.
Okay, okay. So that's all the information you need to give me. Now, how vivid is the memory?
Very clear.
Very clear, very vivid. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do now, you might want to sit, if you want to sit back and get comfortable and relax, okay? And I'm going to have you look at my fingers while you're holding the memory in your mind. Now, if the memory starts to fade, I want you to bring it back. And I may be giving you some instruction while I'm doing it, but you don't have to answer. Your job is just to focus on the memory, okay? So hold on to the memory, follow my fingers. Keep focusing on the memory. Good job. If the memory fades, I want you to bring it back. You're doing great. Keep focusing on the memory. If it fades, bring it back. Bringing back the memory. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a few questions. And we're going to check in and see what happened to the memory. So when you think about it now, what do you notice?
I feel more at ease.
Okay.
Lighter.
Okay. And what actually happened to the memory while you were trying to hold on to it? What did you notice? Did it fade? Did it get further away?
Further away.
Further
I
away.
started remembering things that continued on after.
Okay. So more memories came in.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All those are things that help process this memory. Okay. So now the big question is, now when you think about the feeling, we started at an 8. What number would you give it now?
Maybe like a 4.
Okay, so you say maybe like a 4. I want you to be really specific, really check in. Is it a 4?
4.
A 4. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to have you go back to that same memory again, one more time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back as vivid as you can. It might be a little different than when we started.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Focus on the memory again. Keep focusing on the memory. And again, if it fades, bring it back. Keep focusing on the memory. Keep focusing on the memory. If it fades, bring it back. Doing great. Keep focusing on the memory. Okay. Big deep breath. What did you notice about the memory this time?
I kept losing it.
Okay, so it was harder to hang on.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I started feeling indifferent.
Indifferent. Okay, excellent. So how strong is the feeling now?
I don't feel that anger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what number would you give it?
Does indifferent count as something, or would you do it as
Well, it was an 8, then it was a 4. So what number would you give it now?
2?
2. Okay. So we reduced it from an 8 to a 4 to a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I like to double check just to make sure that if there's anything else residual floating around. So I want you to see if there's anything else that gives you a sense of anger. It might be something different. It might be something similar. See if you can get the feeling back up to an 8.
No.
Can't get it back up to an 8.
Mm-mm.
Try harder.
Is it like the same feeling within a similar situation?
I let you decide.
Can the feeling change?
Sure, absolutely. So it's no longer anger?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's a different feeling. Are you talking about the same situation though?
A similar situation,
Okay.
but now it's just kind of sadness.
Sadness. Okay. Would you like to work on that?
Sure.
How strong is the feeling of sadness?
A 10.
Okay. Okay, so when you think about this feeling, where do you notice it in your body? Okay, in your face mostly. Okay. So the question is going to be, and when's the first time you remember feeling this feeling? Again, keeping in mind it doesn't have to be the very first time it ever happened. Just the first time you can remember feeling this feeling now.
What year are we? 25. In like 2022.
Okay. So do you have a specific memory?
I think it was just recognizing a pattern.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay. So this feeling of sadness is the same as the memory you just went to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how vivid is the memory?
Vivid.
So I want you to focus on this memory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, keep the memory. Keep bringing it back if it fades. Keep focusing on the memory. Keep focusing on the memory. If it fades, bring it back. Keep focusing on the memory, bringing it back if it fades. Big deep breath. Okay. And what did you notice about the memory?
I started getting like a little amped up with it,
Mhm.
but then I settled
Okay.
towards the end.
Okay. So the memory itself made the feeling stronger for a bit, and then it started to come down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was a 10. What number would you give it now?
Like a 7.
A 7. So is it a 7 or like a 7?
A 7.
7. Excellent. Okay. So would you be okay if we did it one more time?
Mm-hmm.
Bring it down a little bit more. Okay. All right. So I want you to bring the memory back. Okay. Focus on the memory. Keep focusing on the memory. If it fades, bring it back. Keep focusing on the memory. Bringing it back if it fades. Keep focusing on the memory. Okay, so what do you notice about the memory this time?
It kept fading.
Okay, so it's harder to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And how strong is the feeling?
A 3.
A 3. Excellent. So we went from a 10 to a 7 to a 3. Good work. Okay. So overall, what is your impression of this? What do you notice?
I notice how relaxed I feel.
Okay.
I like this feeling of just calm and peace and the indifference. I think I'm so used to either being really one way or the other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to recognize it, but then let it go away.
Yeah.
Or down.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
That's nice.
It's nice. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad it was a good experience for you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me show you this process.
Thank you.